Hello, my name is Nick Carroll, and here's an update to last week's PC build for my friend David. So I delivered the system to him a few days ago, and we did the following. Number one, we added an inexpensive fan controller that had its own set of temperature sensors, which we essentially put in different locations in this case to better monitor temperature of the system. The second thing we did is we moved the front-facing LED fan to the back of the system to provide essentially some ambient lighting, and we moved the one that was in the back to the front, and that way he was able to kind of have a relatively darkish experience in the front, so he's not actually looking at, that fan. We also added a 500 gigabyte hard drive as the primary application drive to this system, and then we installed Windows 8 on that. We made the 4 terabyte drive that was included in the build in that video. We made that the secondary storage drive for all of his media. So the 500 gig drive is used for his operating system and any applications he installs, and that 4 terabyte drive is where he would dump all of his media like movies, pictures, etc. We also added a portable 1 terabyte USB 3 drive on top of the system. He actually added a couple stickers to place it on the very top of his system and then route a cable to the back, so he can move that elsewhere if needed, but it'll have a sturdy base on top of his tower. Lastly, it was brought to my attention by one of the viewers of the video that we could have gone with maybe a 6-core CPU as opposed to the 4-core APU that we had included with the build. In truth, we could have actually gone with an 8-core FX 8350 by AMD, that CPU instead of this APU, but in the beginning, over 2.5 months ago when David started acquiring parts for this build, we were going to go with an APU build at the time, and he was going to add a video card at some point down the line, but over time he basically added parts to the build, and it got to the point where I was about ready to assemble the system and bring it to him, but at the last moment he was able to get a video card and add that to the system. But at that point we couldn't return the APU that we chose in the beginning because it had been past the 1 month return period. That said, for anything that uses up to 4 cores, this APU is just as powerful as the FX 6300 series or the 8350. But for most games and applications, they don't use any more than 4 cores, and most of them use less than that. And if that video card he's currently using ever goes out for any reason, he can use the onboard video in the event he needs to RMA that video card. Incidentally, he primarily plays World of Warcraft and does some very slight video editing with Windows Movie Maker, but it's largely a multimedia machine, so what he has now is actually a bit of overkill for what he does. He can play WoW at 60 frames per second, locked using VSync with everything set to ultra, and it runs just fine. So he's doing pretty good with this system. So that's about it. We spent the better part of the day making some physical adjustments to the system that I delivered to him, and then we installed and updated Windows 8. We also added a number of useful applications like VLC, OpenView, Windows Movie Maker, all the browser plugins, and of course World of Warcraft for him. He essentially has a big recliner set up in front of a large HD TV where he does the bulk of his gaming, and he's playing the video game of his choice at the max quality settings. And that's basically about it. I hope this video has been informative, and if you'd like to see more, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.